Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Premier has been telling shifting stories about his Treasury Board investigation into a report on licensing and permitting in Manitoba, especially around the City of Winnipeg. It is supposed to have, quote, broad province-wide scope, end quote, yet it deliberately excludes exploration, mining, and prospecting permits. Even when we consider the many failures of this government on economic development, the complete failure to do the basic work of issuing permits for mining and resource exploration stands out. It is taking 18 months to 2 years for permits to be processed, and entire seasons are being lost, pushing off the potential of billions of dollars of development ever further into the future. Does the Premier admit that this report is designed to give his government a pass when, given the current rate of exploration, it'll take 250 years to build a sustainable mining industry in this province?
The Honourable First Minister.
I appreciate the absolute definition of liberalism in that preamble, Madam Speaker. First, the member gets up recently as last week, and says that we have used the expertise of international and knowledgeable people too often. Now he says we shouldn't do an internal review with experts within our own province, and basically, Madam Speaker, I guess what he's saying is that we should just do nothing. Now he has added to his previous criticisms that our investigations into permitting and inspections was too broadly focused to say it's too narrowly focused. This is perfect liberalism in action. Now, Madam Speaker, we have a problem in our province with permits and inspections. We have a problem internally, we've admitted to that, and we're working on solving our problem. We've expanded to include the City of Winnipeg's permitting and inspection process because we oversee that, and they are interfacing with other processes that we oversee provincially. It is no good to solve one problem and leave the other continuing to exist. We've got independent civil servants investigating this issue because we believe it's important to free up capital for investment and create jobs in our province. I would hope the member would recognize the importance of it and support the exercise.
Hear, hear. The Honourable Leader of the Second Opposition on a supplementary question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Again, I don't know what advice this government could possibly give to the City of Winnipeg on permitting when this government can't get mining permits out the door. It's also worth considering what happened at the City of Winnipeg in the last 10 years, Madam Speaker. Somehow, a fire hall was built on land the City of Winnipeg did not own. The new police headquarters is still under criminal investigation. The police headquarters property was purchased without an estimate of its value. The contract went to a company that had not applied, and it was tens of millions of dollars over budget. Somehow, this happened while some very able people had the wool pulled over their eyes, including the Premier's current Minister of Finance, who was a city councillor and member of the Mayor's Executive Policy Committee at the time. Has the Premier asked his Minister of Finance to contribute to this review about what went wrong with the city permitting at that time?
The Honourable First Minister.
The member takes it a step too far when he goes personal on our Minister of Finance, Madam Speaker, and he should know that. Any Liberal attacking someone with pulling the wool over their eyes at the time of SNC Lavalin is really desperate.
Order.
A talking point. The member asked what good we could possibly do. That's the fundamental nature of the exercise, to determine what good we could do. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business has acknowledged that Manitoba leads all North American jurisdictions in reducing unnecessary barriers of red tape and barriers to investment. This is about job creation. I recognize members opposite aren't familiar with the concept, but this party and this government is, and Manitobans are. And having permitting processes that are unnecessarily extensive and expensive, that delay investment in our province, is a serious concern, and we are dealing with it seriously.
The Honourable Leader of the Second Opposition on a final supplementary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Premier has changed his story about this review. He said it would be independent, but it isn't. And the idea that it is politically independent is questionable. It leaves out the critical issue of mining permits, which might prove politically embarrassing. It excludes environmental permits without an explanation, and the list of stakeholders appears to be limited to industry groups who stand to benefit from reduced protections, while excluding people who could be affected, communities and members of the public at large. The review has a so-called working thesis and lists built-in assumptions which guarantee that the results will be a foregone conclusion, whatever the facts may be. It will be about regulations and not about this government's massive cuts to infrastructure or leaving $1.1 billion in federal funding on the table. Will the Premier admit that this review, like just about every other report he's commissioned, is designed to tell him just what he wants to hear?
The Honourable First
Well,
Minister.
there you go with the definitive problem with Liberal governments wherever they happen to accidentally occur, Madam Speaker, and that's they can't focus on anything, they have to focus on everything. They deal with optics, not with results. This is guaranteed to result in an investigation into what the problems may be around getting permits and getting inspections done. This is about trying to create a better environment to attract capital so that we can create jobs in our province. This is about an important aspect of economic development that other jurisdictions have already dealt with, but that have not been dealt with to the satisfaction of this government here in our beautiful province. That is what this is about. And this is what it will continue to be about as we focus on repairing the economy of this province, its services, and its finances.